Hi, in today's video I'm going to show you a new detail widget, a new developer widget that we have. It's based on the detail view layout mapping. So we're going to start there. I'm going to start kind of explaining what this one is for and what we're doing. The detail view layout mapping is a map that defines the blocks and the content of those blocks in a module. Okay, so basically what would be a detail view, something like you can see here in the support ticket. Okay, the detail view, in this case we have a block of fields divided in two columns, label and value. Then I have another one which just has one field. I have another one field. I have a special block here that has a whole bunch of comments, and I have a functional block here that actually can permit me to add more comments. So this is the detail view layout. The standard detail view layout in Corebus just has one layout, which is the one you see here. The fields are always in these two columns, and these blocks can be dynamically created, programming, some of them can be added in the layout editor and the like. The detail view layout mapping function is to define that layout per user and per module. Right now it is not being used in Corebus at all. It's a functional map for external applications, so you can actually define it in the application just like any other business map that we have, but you can only read it from external applications and define and lay out a detailed view in your application there. So basically you would create an external application using Corebus as a backend, and you give your implementers the possibility of, instead of you hard coding the layout of the detail view in your external application, you base it on this map, and then the implementers can define what is the layout that they want to see in your portal or your external application. Inside Corebus, it had no support, still doesn't have much. Or at least not the important part. The goal of this mapping is to actually substitute this hard-coded decision here that we have here with two columns, that you should be able to create a detail view layout map and say, okay, I want the support tickets to have this layout with 3 columns, or one row with 3 columns and one with 1 row, and whatever you define and you decide. But we don't have that in the application yet. But we have started by, on one side we're creating the generator, which I'll show you in the video, and on the other side we already have a widget, a developer block that reads this map and can permit you to add some of the widgets, of the functionality that the map has. Let's see what it does. It has 6 types of blocks. Okay, you have an application field block, which is exactly this block here. Whatever the application says, whatever fields are supposed to be here, and this 2-column layout is what is going to be defined. The permission system in Corebus applies, so if there's a field there that the user reading the map can't see, those fields won't be there, and all of that stuff. For this one to work, we just need to give it the block ID, because Corebus will go to the layout editor distribution and get the fields that are there and know everything that it has to show you and how. The field list is similar to the application fields, but instead of having them defined by the application as the layout editor defines, what we will permit you to do is to give us a list of fields, and those are the fields that will be exported in that block, exported and shown, and they will also be exported and shown in the layout that you define. So you will be able to define how many rows and columns you want to have in each row, and how you want to distribute those fields in that block. We have the related list block, which you also have in the application. You can go to the layout editor and add a related list. I'm going to show you that as we go down. A widget, we have obviously now you can we have developer blocks, and we have all sorts of widgets. You can add any widget as a block on a detailed view, just at creating the business action. So this is kind of redundant, but as we were saying, you export these things outside of Corebus, so it's supported here, and it's supported also in the developer block that we created. Then we have two very similar directives, which is code. with and without header. Basically, it's just give me a script, and whatever you decide, whatever that script outputs, we'll put it inside the block. We don't have, we're not opinionated at all. We just create the div and we put inside whatever you give us. There's also ways of doing this in CoreBoss very easily. The layout of the map, what module is it applying to, and then as many blocks as you need. Each block has a label, a sequence, a type, which is the ones that we just went through, and depending on the type, you will have to give me the block ID, the layout, or where to load the related list or the code from, or whatever. Here are some more explanations of what each type is and how that works. And here we have the detail view layout widget, which is what we're doing. Okay, now what we're doing here, here I have a business map. I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 business maps, one for each type except for the code, which is going to use the same one because basically it's the same. And if we open up one of these, let's open up the application fields here. As you can see, it has an origin module, products, a block which is an application field, and a block which is 36. If I click here on generate map, you see that this opens a screen where I can actually select the module, the types that we have, we're just seeing, and obviously depending on the type, what we can do. In this case, it's application field, so it's showing me the blocks that are available in products. Oh, duplicated. Anyway, so if I click FieldList, it gives me another thing here so that I can actually create the list of fields that I want to support, I want to show. If it's a widget, it tells me, okay, where do I load that widget from? If it's a related list, the same thing. If it's code, it gives me the option to load from a script or give me a handler and a class in case you want me to instantiate directly the class and execute a method in there. So this is the generator. It still needs some polish. There are some things that are not working. We're working on it. I suppose maybe during the month of May it should be totally operative. To test this generator, we created a developer widget, and we're going to see that. Okay, this map is 44,617. So I'm going to create myself here a business action, which I already have on the support ticket module, and I'm going to load 44,617. I have to give it the module, the detail module, and the record, because in this case I'm going to show a block of product fields, so I have to tell it that it's a product module that I'm going to show, and I have to give it the record. Notice here that the record, let me make this a little bigger. Notice here that the record, I'm using $product ID because I'm doing this in the context of a ticket. A ticket has a one relation with products. One ticket has one product where you select it. So I'm getting that product. So depending on the support ticket that I'm looking at, I will be able to show the correct fields. Okay. Save this. I have to activate it. And let's reload the support ticket. Notice here that we went down. I didn't have anything there. Let's reload this, and now I have here a description information, a description, and this is the description on the product, on this product. Okay, if I come over here to the map, and instead of 36 I put 31, which I know is the product information, let me put 31 here. I could have done this also editing in the map generator. Now you'll see that I get, okay, let me get rid of that a second. And then I'll go over it again to see what's going on. Okay, now you see here that I have the product information, block 31. Okay, as you can see, I have all of the fields. This widget decides to just show the fields in one column. So it's going all the way down, all of the fields, and they're all here. Okay, so basically the idea is that this particular application fields, what it does, okay, this application fields, what it does is get the block, and it shows me the fields that are there. So it's a nice way to kind of show this information. If we change this map, instead of using the detail view app fields, we use field list. Notice that the field list, what I'm doing is also on products. I'm defining the field list, I'm defining a label, and here I'm saying, okay, I want one row to have the product name and the product code, another row to have all of the sales dates and expiry dates, and another row with the vendor ID and the part number. So if we get this map, which is 44619, and we change the business action, instead of 17 to 19, so I'm loading the other map, the field list map, and we reload this. Now I have this layout here. As you can see, I have this product fields. The label is not translated. I mean, it's translatable, but there is no PDO fields translated anywhere. And it's showing me in one row the product name and the part number, in another row the sales, all four, and the vendor name and the part number, which is probably empty. Okay, so you can have this kind of extra information. This is very similar. If you notice here, if I hover here, I get the tooltip over there on the left, but okay, I get the tooltip. It's very similar to that, but you have it here hard-coded, incorporated inside the flow of the blocks. Because it's a business action, instead of having it here, we could have it here in the actions. Also, we could have a block of fields here. That should be very easy to do. I think you have to change the JavaScript, the business action to JavaScript something. I don't remember right now. It's documented in the wiki. Okay, so that would be the field list. Let's have a look at the other ones. Here, right before the field list, we had no, not this one. This one. Detail field list. Okay, before the field list, we had the code. If you look at the code, I have a code with header and a file, which is called say hi. Say hi. That is reference to the Core Boss install. So that say hi has to be at the top of the Core Boss path. Okay, at the root of the install. If you have it in some other directory, you can download. You can put the whole path, and it should work also. My say hi is just a small script that says hi. It's PHP. I think I can show you that. Anyway, let's load that here. This is 44618. So we're going to change the map here, and we're going to put 44618, and I'm going to load this here. And as you can see, I have a small script that has here hello widget. Whatever. Let me show you this. This is what that script looks like. As you can see, I mean nothing. Whatever goes out, whatever the script says, will be shown here in the block. And it has a header, which is the label, here, which we don't have, but we should have. It's kind of mandatory. Label. Okay, and this is code with header. Okay, and let's have a look at code without the header. Okay, I did something wrong editing now. Label. Okay, save and look. Okay, very simple. If we come over here and instead of code with header, we put code without header, then what happens, or should happen, is okay, I lost the header, I lost the content also. Not okay. Okay, I have to look at that one also. Code without header. Okay, I'll have a look at see what that one's about. And what else? Field list, related list, the widget. Okay, we have the widget also. The widget is, you could just do a business action. In this case, I'm doing a show HTML block, which is an iframe, and I'm loading the CoreBoss website. I mean, you could do a business action directly, just like I'm doing here. So this is kind of really not very useful inside the application. It's probably easier just to do a business action. But let's do it. Let's show it anyway. Should work. 44536. Let's change this and reload here, and I should see the CoreBoss website there. That easy, very nice. And finally, we have the related list. Okay, the related list. In this case, I'm on help desk, and I want to show the service contract. This you can also do inside the application. Let's change the map here and load this map. And now I should see a related list of service contracts. Okay, the advantage here is that, I mean, you can do this in the layout editor. The advantage here is that I'm doing a business action to load that. So this business action has a whole set of rules. I mean, you can make it load just for some users or some roles, or you can actually put a business rule on it and put any conditions, so you could show the block only if the product is active or not, or any conditions that you like. So it does make it a lot flexible. You could activate this service contract and show this list only if there's a service contract active, for example. That kind of stuff, which you cannot do if you're doing it in the layout editor. In the layout editor, it's one for all and all users and always. So that is an advantage of using the business map. Okay, so that was about it. I just wanted to present this new widget that we have here, which is the show set of fields widget, because basically the important functionality is to show the application field or the field list. The other options are kind of redundant inside the application. There are probably easier ways of doing it, besides the fact that you can do it on a business action with all the permissions and the like. Okay, we will finish the editor soon, and you can start using this inside your applications if you need to. Give it a try also on the action panel. That would be nice, probably even more useful than showing it inside the flow of the blocks. And finally, we will get around, I suppose, to adding support for this map in the full detail view. There'll still be some time before we get to that, because we want to kind of redesign the fields and the layouts before kind of use LDS. And inside internally, I would like to kind of structure the code a little bit more. But sooner or later, I suppose this detail view layout mapping will also happen on the module itself. Thanks for watching.